Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Jared Allison with Century 21 Alton Clark, and this is another market report for the month of April. So I'm actually out here at JB's Fish Camp. If you've never been out here, they've got some really good food. I just had the fish sandwich. The mahi fish sandwich is really good. You got to come check it out. It's here in New Smyrna Beach. But the reason I'm here is because I want to talk about some market stats. So we're looking at some of the national stats here, and the seasonal adjusted annual sales is right at 4.44 million sales. So that's down. It's actually down about 2.4%. Inventory is still low, 2.6 months supply of inventory, and then home prices sit right around $375,000. So, and on the national level, this is actually one of the first times in a while that I've seen it decrease. It decreased almost 1% on a year-over-year basis. And the reason for that is because out in the West, they actually had a lot of decreasing home prices. The other three regions have still maintained, and as we'll see here in just a second, the local stats are showing home prices are still up. So if we look at the state of Florida, home prices sit right around $405,000, which is still an increase of about 3%. And then inventory is still very low. A normal inventory is going to be around 5 or 6 months. Right now in the state of Florida, we're sitting at 2.7 months supply of inventory. Then if we break it down even further into Volusia County, supply of inventory sits at 2.2 months. So just a little bit less than the entire state of Florida. So here's the thing. If you're thinking about buying a house and you're kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting on home prices to decrease, that's not going to happen. You have to get in the game now, because there's basically one thing that drives home prices, and that's going to be inventory. There's low inventory and there's high demand right now. So if you want to buy a house, you got to get into the game. You can't put your life on hold hoping that home prices are going to drop. Interest rates are still a little bit high, and I'm going to have Greg come over and we're going to talk about some things that are going on with interest rates. But interest rates, we can fix that. If they go up, it's a win-win on both sides. If you buy a house and interest rates go up, it's a win because you've already locked in a lower interest rates. If you buy a house and interest rates go down, guess what? You get to refinance and you get that lower interest rate. On the flip side, if you're a seller, it's still a great time to sell because inventory is still low. There's not a lot of homes out there for sale, and there's a ton of buyers that are coming into the market. That's the demand. So home prices are gonna hold, and the demand is still there. So if you're looking to sell, now is a great time to do it. Let me get Greg over here so we can talk about some of those interest rates. All right, so talking about interest rates, I'm sure everybody's been seeing this on the news. People with higher credit scores are paying more than people with lower credit scores. It's not exactly how that sounds. That's why I got Greg here to talk about that. What can you tell us about that?
Listen, it's fake news. At the end of the day, they took a little section of that and ran with it and brought the bad news. They need headlines. So at the end of the day, these are LLPAs, which is called loan level price adjustments.
Okay.
And these loan level price adjustments have been around since 2008. During COVID, they went away a little bit, but they quickly came back. And anybody who's purchased a home using conventional conforming, which is the same thing, conventional conforming financing, has already dealt with this. They've already paid it. It's built into the pricing. Quite honestly, they probably had no idea that was going on. So just to give you an idea, tiers, how much down payment you have, what your credit score is, what's the debt to income ratio, is it a single family residence, townhome, or a condo, is it an investment home or secondary home? These all have tiers, loan level price adjustments within that. So it's built into your pricing already. So they are saying that somebody with a higher credit score with more down payment is supposed to be paying extra, which then that money gets applied to help those with lower credit score with less down payment, which is so far from the truth. Right. What they truly did was they changed the tier for everybody.
Okay.
So there used to be a bigger spread between higher credit score and lower credit score. They just tightened that spread and they changed the tier for everyone. Okay. And quite honestly, those with the higher credit scores, for an example, it used to be 740 plus for credit scores. Now it's 740 to 760, 760 to 780, and 780 plus. Well, that 780 plus is actually pricing out better now than it used to. So yeah, those guys, those people, anyone with a higher credit score and more down payment, they get better pricing. That is how it should be. But those with the lower credit scores with less down payment, not that they're paying less than those higher individuals, their pricing actually increased everyone. So everyone's increased. So they took a small section of saying that because you're a 740 and maybe that pricing changed and maybe that's a little bit higher, they're taking that saying that it's fake news, that they're paying for the lower credit scores, when in reality it's not. Everyone is actually increasing. So there's no reason to wait. Don't sit on the fence.
No, and then adding on to that, so what about the interest rates? Do you see them? Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? What have they been doing over the past couple of weeks?
Well, last couple of weeks actually we've had some good pricing improvements. So the Fed's fund rate just got increased again, right? But that's short term. That's credit cards, car loans, lines of credit, anything with short-term financing. It's not regarding the long-term 30-year fixed loans, which are more stable and consistent. Now, what happens in the market after those Fed funds rates gets increased, then there's a trickle effect or a ripple effect that ends up coming and affecting mortgages. But it's all about what happens. So we've actually seen better pricing at times when the Fed rates have been increased. And then maybe 30 days, 45 days later, maybe they tend to increase because of what's going on in the market. It all depends upon where people invest their money. But rates themselves are predicted to drop by the end of May, slightly. And then even into the summer, predicted to even drop more. So if you're sitting on the fence, there's no reason to wait for that lower interest rate, because once rates drop, more buyers come into the market. So supply and demand, the values will start increasing and multiple offers will start happening. Right? Values up, lower rate. Well, why are you waiting? Right? Jared's job is to help you marry the house. My job is to help you divorce the rate. So at the end of the day, let's get into it now. Stop paying rent. Stop building somebody else's portfolio. Look into what's important for you, so we can put you into that house and build wealth through home ownership. I mean, that's truly where we're at.
And like we said, it's a win-win situation. If you buy a house now and rates go up, it's a win because you've locked in a lower rate. If you buy a house and rates go down, guess what? Greg can help you refinance and get that better rate. So don't sit on the sidelines. Don't sit on the fence thinking that home prices are going to drop, because it's just not going to happen right now. If you have more questions about what the market's doing, what the interest rates are doing, you can get in contact with me, or you can get in contact with Greg. We'll help you run through some numbers to figure out what you can actually afford, because that's a key piece in buying a house. So again, my name is Jared Allison. That's Greg Meyer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
You ain't seen nothing like this.